Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going over an oldie but a goodie, They Who Endure. So guys, today we're going over the new updated They Who Endure deck, which is currently doing very well in the meta game and is my personal #1 deck for climbing. Now I know that might not be the true for all of you guys, but personally I have used this deck to climb every single season. You know, I used it back in Season of Plunder, Season of Fortune, and now this season. They Who Endure is my go-to deck, and it's one I'm pretty good at. If I'm good at any deck, this is probably the best one. I'm not an expert or anything, but if I know a deck, then I'd say I know this one the best. And so this deck it's got some new tools from the newest expansion, Call on the Mountain, and overall, it just is doing much better. Although Hush is a bit of a huge counter to They Who Endure, which is something that's been holding back the card. And if we look here, Shroud of Darkness is not a good enough of a counter to Hush. It is a good enough a counter to cards like Sunburst that can silence it. With all the Celestial cards, it's becoming much easier to just kill this guy. Especially in ways that you can't really counter with a card like Atrocity. Hush being one of those, and Hush is such a strong card. So you gotta watch out for that, and you gotta know when you can play into They Who Endure. And there has been a more aggressive version. It was either by Nick Makes Plays or Press a Pick. I'm not sure which one, but a more aggressive version, and I can just show you guys that right now. That runs like 3 Ravenous Butcher, Warden's Prey, and you play into Doom Beast and cards like Wraithcaller very easily. You top it off with They Who Endure and Atrocity, right? But the early game is just pure aggro. If you're into aggro decks, you could use that one. Personally, I think this version's better with how the metagame's going, and with Hush, you have to have a more stable, reliable way to win the game, and I think Everglade can make that work sometimes. Calista is very good, and the aggro deck can't get those threats out as reliably. We are playing Vile Feast over the new Nightfall card. Let's see, Unspeakable Horror. Because Vile Feast gives us a unit, which means we can block against aggro decks. It means that we get a unit to die or can be killed with Blighted Caretaker, can die and trigger Calista, can die and trigger They Who Endure. Just better overall for the deck. And we're playing Fury of the North over Troll Chant. Fury of the North did get a notable nerf, but for this deck, Troll Chant doesn't give attack, and we do like the attack on Fury of the North, being able to trade something into a good trade. And the 4 mana, when we're playing it, doesn't matter that much. So let's get into a game real quick here. I have been trying to climb. I haven't been as consistent as I should be, but I have been working on it, and we're almost to Platinum, so that's going to be exciting. And from Platinum, we'll get to Diamond. Now, I don't know if you guys know this. This looks a pretty easy mulligan. I don't know if you guys know this, but I actually got to Diamond while I was doing all the new card reveals. That was in the Season of Fortune, and now that we've sort of entered a new season, my old Diamond rank doesn't matter that much anymore. And so I don't think I mentioned it before, but I did get up that high. So my goal is to beat that score and get to Masters. Although that could prove challenging. Okay, so we do have a couple options on our next turn. I think against their deck, they're playing the aggressive version I literally just showed you guys. Interesting. Why would you... His hand must be pretty bad, and he wants the unit. Or he just wants a good attack here. Actually, the attack could be the reason why he did it. His deck does need to be aggressive, so we're actually playing slow here. Not quite the game I was expecting to show you guys. Like, we usually are not the ones playing fast. We're usually not the slow playing. We're trying to fast play, aggro them out, and finish them with a They Who Endure. But in this matchup, we're going to play a little bit slower. So instead of going for Calista here, we're actually going to go for some good blockers. We'd usually be attacking with Elise, and then we could maybe use the crawling sensation to level her up, but in this case I don't think we can do that. Wow, weird. Why would you curse Keeper after you Ravenous Butcher? He must have drawn it. I wasn't paying attention to his hand. Crawling sensation might be worth playing here. We play Kalista here to threaten the level up on the attack. It's going to make his attack more clunky, but he's the aggro deck, so he has to do this. He's going to kill the Avarosan Hearthguard, or sorry, Avarosan Sentry, and then he's going to pull the Elise. Interesting. Maybe that's a Vile Feast. I'm going to level up the Kalista here, and then as long as the... Oh, interesting. Does he have a Vile Feast then?
Come. Ready the torches.
How do you block like this? So this means he has a Vile Feast, which I can't actually counter. But I can play Elise's Crawling Sensation to... Oh, wow. No Vile Feast? Wow. Interesting. So I'm drawing cards and he's not. Ooh, interesting. Does that mean we want to play the Bark Beast more? I think the Crawling Sensation is still better, right? Oh, maybe the Bark Beast is better on the... Yeah, Proud Bark Beast on the attack is fine. I mean, he has to block it with the Ravenous Butcher. It's going to get the buff. Okay, interesting. We just open attack. And we do have Fury of the North to make a good trade if he decides to play a spell. And if he lets the 1/1 Spider live, I can get Lisa's Crawling Sensation down. That's not going to be too huge in this matchup, given that he's playing into a lot of bigger dudes and the 1/1s won't be able to challenge and finish out the game. Remember, we're trying to be the slow deck. They can be death triggers for TheyWhoEndure if we ever want to try to match his TheyWhoEndure, which he could easily have, which is something we have to think about and be scared of. His board's kind of empty, though. Well, it's not kind of empty. It is empty.
They're out there.
So I don't think we can be too worried about that. Interesting. He's going to pull the Doom Beast here. I guess I Curse Keeper. I don't know if we can be scared of him having a way to pop Keeper. I mean, his deck has enough ways to do it. I'm pretty sure he plays Glimpse Beyond. I could be wrong. Ooh. Alright, we kind of won. He can't beat this. He has no way to interact with it. Oh, that's pretty good for him. This card is insane. If you get a Keeper off it, whew, you just win the game. And I've gotten double Collectors off of it. It's pretty good. Now, keep in mind, it can't actually get Champions, which means you're sort of limiting your options. I will play this before combat. Kind of sad that we have to kill the Spider. But I feel like getting the health before combat, right before the round where he's going to play a big TheyWhoEndure when we don't have it. Ooh, that's rough. We have Vile Feast to kill the one that's going to challenge Kalista so we don't lose out on that tempo value. Especially when we have a Neverglade in play. And we're probably keeping the Fear of the North for the Neverglade, right? Next turn. And we have Elise's Crawling Sensation. Not anymore, though, because he's going to kill the Elise. So we'll have an Elise in hand, which you can play next turn. Not the worst. So... I kill his Kalista, right? He messed up. Why would you...
Look out for Reavers.
I lose no life. I can let the Neverglade go down because I have Fury of the North to protect it next turn, and he doesn't have enough mana to kill it this turn. Oh, the Spider dies. Oh, that's kind of sad. I couldn't... Yeah, I was kind of forced into that. Maybe... No, because I had to delete a Spider with Collector anyway. That's kind of sad. So we are Ooh. We have a Keeper on board, and we just drew Blighted Caretaker. Yeah, okay, well, if he has Endure here... Interesting. Double Elise. So I can't play Elise until after combat. I can play Elise into the Spiders if...
What's that noise?
Oh, wait, no. I can't. He didn't have TheyWhoEndure, I guess. Wow, that's sad. I don't know if we were losing to TheyWhoEndure. I guess it depended on how big it was. That's one of the things, though. Like, I can see reasons not to play TheyWhoEndure in this deck just because of how big Hush in the meta is right now. And that's burst speed, so it can beat Atrocity almost every time. Hush is... They gotta nerf Hush. That card is insanely good. Like, I don't know how you could counter Hush. I'll have to think about it a little bit. There doesn't seem to just be a good counter for Hush. Hush removes all its power, so it just becomes a 1-1. Of course, it's only for the end of the round, but if you try to Atrocity or attack, which is usually a combo you want to do, you want to attack and then Atrocity after they've used their hard counter to kill it. You force out the removal because you attack with it, then you Atrocity to win the game. Well, you can't do that with Hush. You just can't. And then you're forcing your TheyWhoEndure to sit back until you can get out their Hush. And there's literally no way. There's like, unless you can like Atrocity a TheyWhoEndure when you like Stalking Shadows into an ephemeral one, or you just have 2. Man, that is such a hard situation to be in. But otherwise, I think the deck is great. Shroud can help in certain situations. It's a great card against removal when you want to play a late Kalista. Kalista can die very easily. Not in this metagame as much. Most of the removal is dealing 4 damage, most of the removal... Well, okay, so I'm thinking of... where is it? Solari Priestess. She can get out a number of removal cards for Kalista. You would use that turn 4, so unless you're playing Kalista... there isn't a situation where Kalista lives against the Solari Priestess, which is something you have to think about, and why a lot of decks are probably playing Shrouded Darkness. Now, and even in that situation, Shrouded Darkness is kind of clunky, right? You cannot... I was trying to see if you can see Celestial cards. Can't you? Celestials. There we go. So, there's a lot of Celestials. The Sun one is pretty powerful. One of the reasons why you play Shrouded Darkness against the Stun one and in other Silence ones, like, let's see here. Isn't it right here? Oh, Equinox. Cards like that, which are going to be very common because of Solari Priestess and because of Spacey Sketcher, you're going to need this card very often when you're playing TheyWhoEndure to make sure you can force out lethal. Now, you can't counter Hush in any situation, really. But that is why you play the tech card. I mean, like, you got Omen Hawk and Bark Beast as normal drops. You got Ravenous Butcher for the Curse Keeper combo. You also have Blind Caretaker, a staple in this version, no matter what. You actually play 2 Glimpse Beyonds and Stalking Shadows. An interesting choice. It does reduce some of the other spells you can play in the deck, and you usually play a couple more spells. But in general, I think that this is much of an improvement. You get more card draw. You have less, middle game power. You don't play Croc. You don't play other big beefy boys. You don't play Wraithcaller, but I've experimented with Wraithcaller for sure. And you just can't play those. But you would rather have Stalking Shadows to draw into more dudes, more tempo to try to win the game, or just a TheyWhoEndure. And so I think that this combo right here is pretty powerful. And I'm messing around with it, seeing where it's going to go. I think I might cut a Glimpse Beyond. It's just not as reliable as Stalking Shadows, which is an insane card, by the way. I do like Vile Feast better than the other one, the Nightfall one, because of just the reliability of getting that 1/1. It's just too good. I might actually add 3 Neverglades to sort of avoid that's the situation we're having where you can't beat Hush, and Neverglade can sometimes beat it can sometimes beat it in interesting situations. Maybe we'll cut an Atrocity too. This is weird. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to talk about this deck and other decks more. And yeah, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys next one. Bye.